each one of you on the occasion of the press meet for the launch of the much-awaited Ola Electric IPO. This IPO would be the largest IPO to hit the Indian capital markets over the last 2 years and is also a precursor for some more to follow during the current year. While large IPOs are becoming a frequent phenomenon in the Indian capital markets, driven often by the successful startups, there are some IPOs which are era-defining and sector-defining issuances. We at Kotak are therefore proud to be associated with Ola Electric as the left lead book running lead manager. Ola Electric is a pure EV player with an innovation and Atmanirbhar mindset as its core DNA. It has invested in 100% in-house R&D to build the core EV technologies as also the cell technologies and manufacturing. It has built vertically integrated EV hub to manufacture at scale backed by a resilient supply chain. Bhavish and Ola's vision and laser-sharp execution focus is helping accelerate the pace of change and adoption of electric vehicles. As Steve Jobs often remarked, innovation distinguishes between the leader and the followers. Ola had the highest revenue among all Indian incorporated electric two-wheeler OEMs in fiscal 23 and fiscal 24. While with India being the second largest two-wheeler market globally and moving towards electrification, the opportunity for Ola going forward is very significant. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the two speakers for the day today. Mr. Bhavish Aggarwal, a man who needs no introduction, but of course that occasion demands and commands that I be brief at least to make a few remarks. He is the founder, chairman and managing director and promoter of Ola Electric, an IIT Bombay alumnus. Bhavish is a serial entrepreneur, having founded Ola Cabs in 2010 and more recently Krutrim AI. He was named in the list of India 30 under 30 by Forbes India in 2014, in the top 100 most influential people and a pioneers category by Times Magazine in 2018, in the Time 100 climate list in 2023, and in E-Mobility Plus Power 100 2024 list at E-Mobility Plus Leadership Awards 2024. Further, he was awarded Entrepreneur of the Year by Economic Times in 2017. The second speaker would be Mr. Harish Abhichandani. He is the CFO of Ola Electric. Harish had previously worked with ANI Technologies, more popularly known as Ola Cabs, as its CFO and also at Tata Communications Limited. I'd also like to welcome my colleagues from the other book runners, Citi, BofA, Goldman Sachs, ICICI Securities, Axis, SBI Caps, Bob Capital Markets. A few highlights about the IPO. The IPO shall open on 2nd August and close on 6th August, with anchor opening and closing on the 1st of August. The price band announced is rupees 72 to 76 and the bid lot is 195 shares. The total IPO size at the top end of the price band would be rupees 6,145 crores, out of which the fresh issuance would be 5,500 crores. The IPO would have 75% allocation towards QIB, 10% towards retail and 15% towards the non-institutional investor category. Thank you once again for joining this session. I would request the members of the press to carry and circulate the compelling investment themes of Ola's IPO to your respective audience. I would request Bhavish to make his opening remarks, and prior to that, there's a very short corporate film. Thank you.
Hi, namaste, good afternoon. Very excited to be here, very excited to meet all of you from the media fraternity, and very excited to be telling our story to all of you. And I want to thank Jaya for that very kind introduction. I also didn't know all these awards I had. Yeah, but it's, thank you so much for the kind introduction. Hopefully, in our presentation, you will get to learn a little bit about our company, and Harish and I would be here to answer any questions as we go along. So I want to start off with a brief corporate video. You'll get a good feel for our company. In this process of the IPO, we've also hosted many of your media friends, maybe some of you also at our factories, because this company is a touch and feel company. There are all kinds of companies, but Ola Electric is a India manufacturing story. It's a India future products, future technology story. And it's best felt in person in our factories. So the corporate film does a sort of whatever you can do on AV format to get the experience here to you. But let's see. Let's just get started with that, and then we will proceed. Some disclaimers.
The way the world moves is changing, and India stands as the bold face of this change. With Ola Electric ready to power a new wave of the electric revolution in the country. As a pure-play EV company with a leadership position in the Indian electric two-wheeler market, we work towards shaping the future of mobility in India with a wide range of EVs manufactured right here in India's largest integrated and automated electric two-wheeler manufacturing facility run by an all-women workforce. But this is not where we stop. To make India the powerhouse of global electrification, we are manufacturing not just EVs, but also core components in-house, including the heart of EVs, the cell. At our cell manufacturing plant, the Ola Giga factory, which along with the Ola Future factory will form an EV ecosystem, the EV hub, backed by the extensive research at our R&D facility, the Ola Battery Innovation Center, where we lead the development of cell and battery technology, along with our design infrastructure, rooted in the philosophy of best design, performance and technology. The result? A feature-packed range of electric scooters, all built on the next-gen EV platform. With Move OS, our in-house operating system, making our EVs smarter with each update. Backed by our direct-to-customer, omni-channel distribution network and network of Ola Experience Centers, Service Centers and charging points. This is Ola Electric, where we innovate, create, manufacture in India with pride for Indians and the world.
I hope that video gives you a very good, quick glimpse of our company. And like I said, it's better to be there and feel the factory and the vibe and the workers. But this is as close as we can get you there. When we started Ola Electric, and Ola Electric is a very young company. It's been alive pretty much 4 or 5 years only. 2019 or 2020, we set up this company, and now we are hitting the market. So it's been a very aggressive, quick journey towards scale. And we are probably one of the faster ones to come to market at scale in terms of revenue scale. And we're also a very mission-driven company. Our mission is to really make India a global EV hub. Because our generation, let's say the young generation, has to truly globally, not just in India, but globally, solve the challenge of climate change and sustainability. And India, India is almost 20% of the world's population. So we have to be part of the solution. And as India builds, and for India to be part of the solution, we have to build our own paradigms of technology and products. Like luxury cars, India mein utni nahi bikti hain. It is two-wheelers, three-wheelers, small cars. This is the Indian market. And India, all these markets are still growing. So when we set our vision on electrifying automotive, we said we'll start with the two-wheeler. And specifically within that, the scooter. And what you see on the screen here is the kind of products we have in the market now. In just 3 short years, we have built a portfolio of 6 different scooters. And soon, as you see in our book, we are coming out with our motorbikes. We will show you a little bit of that today. But in a headline, if I have to make about our company, we are a pure play EV company with a very strong leadership position in the Indian electric two-wheeler market. A quick summary about our company. We have a very singular focus on EVs. And the reason we have a singular focus on EVs is because in automotive, in a century, this is one of the biggest changes and transformations of automotive in a century. 100 years ago, the automotive world moved from a steam engine to internal combustion engine. And now it's again changing to EVs. We don't focus our energies into ICE or into other transitionary technologies like hybrids, etc. but our singular focus is to create this EV future and to create the entire business model, manufacturing ecosystem that goes with it. So far, we've delivered 7 products, and we have also, in addition to those 7, announced 4 products, the motorbikes, which will be delivered soon. Now, we are the market leader in e-two-wheelers. Our FY24 full year market share was about 35%, and this last quarter of the last financial year was 39%. So, and I'll show you a graph about our market share. 3 years ago, when we began, people were questioning whether the Indian market is relevant for electrification, and today I think you can see the scale with which, the speed with which the Indian market is electrifying, and we are the leader in that journey. Now, to achieve this ambition and mission and vision of ours to create India as a global EV hub, we have 3 pillars of our strategy. We are a vertically integrated manufacturing setup. We have installed capacity of more than 1 million, almost 1 million units for two-wheelers, and it's fungibly usable between scooters and motorbikes. And then beyond just our two-wheeler manufacturing, we are building the whole EV supply chain and ecosystem around us. Specifically, the Giga factory, which will make the lithium cell. And the lithium cell is a very important part of the EV vehicle. Just like in the ICE era, you had the engine. In the EV era, you have the lithium cell. And we have set up this Giga factory, which you saw in the video. It's very automated, very advanced, and the entire tech is built in-house. And this EV hub that we are setting up, we have almost 2,000 acres given by the government of Tamil Nadu, where we are building our factories, and our suppliers are also investing there now. The second core vertical of our strategy is the R&D and technology. Now, EV transition is a very important technology transition in automotive. It is not enough to just buy from other suppliers and assemble. You have to create your own technology IP and hence build a better product and improve your margins. This has been the story globally, and this is actually the story in India also as we are scaling up. So we've invested significantly into R&D. We have many patents, 379 patents in the last 3 years alone. And we have almost 1,000 employees focused only on R&D. These are world-class employees. Many of these employees, we have actually Indian origin people we've got them back from China, back from East Asia, back from the US, and working in our centers. The third part of our strategy is a very sharp focus on the cell. Now, in EVs, the cell is a foundation technology. And once you create your own cell technology, you are able to deploy it in any form factor of a product, be it a scooter, be it a motorbike, or in the future, any other products, whether ours or, potentially selling to other people also. We are the recipient of we're the largest recipient of the government PLI for cell manufacturing. 20 gigawatt hour is what the government has allocated to us. In addition, the front end of our business, which is the distribution, is also built in a very new age way. Modern consumers expect a better retail experience, an omni-channel retail experience. So we have a direct-to-customer digital and physical network. We have 870 experience centers now. These are stores where you can walk in and purchase a scooter. And many of these stores also have service centers within them, 431 as of March 2024, and now that number has gone up. And all of these business strategies are being executed in an Indian macro environment where the government is really strongly supporting electrification. The government has the FAME schemes. The government has 2 PLI schemes, which we are part of. We are the only OEM that is part of both these schemes, the PLI for EV manufacturing and PLI for cell manufacturing. And then on top of that, there are different state level government schemes also. So that's a quick summary. Just moving ahead. This has been our timeline. Like I said, it's a very young company. In October 21, we set up our two-wheeler factory, and that factory was built in the middle of the pandemic in just 8 months. Many of you or your colleagues would have been there. It's a world-class two-wheeler factory. And along this journey till March 24, we have launched multiple scooter products, as you can see. We have announced our motorbikes in August 15th last year, and also built our Giga factory March 24. You see, we have our Giga factory, which is already completed, and trial production is happening. Commercial production will begin early next year. Now, just a bit of a macro analysis of the industry in which we operate. India is the world's second largest two-wheeler market after China, and excluding China, it's the world's largest two-wheeler market. And the EV penetration is actually just starting off and accelerating. In FY23, which is more than a year ago now, the EV penetration was about 4%, as you can see in this chart. And this is a Redseer estimate that by in another 4 to 5 years, it'll get to about 40% of the market. And we are on that trend. Scooters already are, this is all public data. Scooters about 15% electric penetrated already. Motorcycles are early. Motorcycles are just beginning. And if you look at the basic premise of electrification, the basic benefit that you as a consumer gets, in addition to better style and great performance, etc., more speed, more thrill, fundamentally, and this is very relevant for the Indian consumer mindset of kitna deti hai, right? EVs are better TCO, and it's very relevant for two-wheelers because two-wheelers are used by the mass market of India, by the Aam Aadmi of India. And if you see the chart on the right, that shows you the total cost of ownership of the lifetime of your ownership of a two-wheeler. In an ICE vehicle, you will pay for buying the vehicle, then insuring, and then maintenance, and then the petrol. That's the light green. The top one is the petrol. And EV is actually one of our EVs. This is the S1X. Is actually less than half the cost to own over a life cycle. And that is the real reason why in two-wheelers, EV penetration is actually accelerating across the board. India is also a very important, in addition to its own market, world's second largest market, India is also already a established, proven export hub for two-wheelers and ICE. And we see that continuing into the EV era. As we scale up our India business and manufacturing, we definitely will look to tap this opportunity in the future. And India is in that sense already primed to be the global EV hub for two-wheeler EVs. And we can actually, as an industry, and not just Ola, but hopefully as an industry, become a global champion for electric two-wheelers and bring all of that value here into India. This is an interesting chart. It shows you the bars are basically our volumes vis-a-vis other e-two-wheelers. Dark green is us, light green is others. So you can see we are growing in share of others. And the line is our market share. So every quarter, this is 7 quarters, every quarter, I think secularly our market share is going up. I was advised not to tell you what my target is. But, you can see every quarter our market share is moving. This is all public data from the Vahan portal. Now, in terms of product portfolio, this is our roadmap that we are building for our products in the near future. We have either released or announced products for most part of India's two-wheeler vehicle market. If you look at India's overall two-wheeler vehicle market, it's about 17 to 20 million units a year. And 1/3 is scooters, 2/3 is motorbikes. And in scooters, we started our journey with premium scooters, which is that small segment you see over there, about 500,000. And then through late last year and this year, we launched our mass scooter products, which is the S1X portfolio. That plays into that 5 million potential, and that is what has been scaling up also in the recent past. And 2/3 is motorbike. Within motorbikes, there is premium and mass market motorbikes. We've been working on our motorbike portfolio. Last year, we showcased our premium motorbike portfolio. And you will see us deliver motorbikes to consumers starting early next year onwards. So this is all that we had said in our prospectus also. So you will see us broadly on that timeline launching our motorbikes to the market in early next year. These are our scooter products which are already in the market. I personally love the design, and as you can see, our design, the colors, all of them appeal to a very youthful consumer, and especially across regions, small towns, big towns, our scooters are selling across the country. Our product design philosophy is focused on delivering 3 propositions to the consumer. The best design, and design doesn't just mean the style, but also means the functional aspects, like the boot space, like the leg room, like the ergonomics, like the safety, etc. We're focused on delivering the best performance. In EVs, that means range, charging speed, top speed, acceleration, etc. And the best technology, which means the software features, the entire Move OS that you saw in the corporate film. All of that enables a very unique set of features which were never even thought of in two-wheelers. For example, you can do cruise control in our vehicles. You just put it on cruise control, things that you expect in premium cars. You can do hill hold. If you're standing on an incline, your vehicle will stay there without you having to put force, and many more features. These are images of our bike portfolio. I'm personally, I love bikes. So if there are those who love bikes in the audience, I'm sure you're looking forward to these products. These are which we announced last year, 15th August, which is our annual product launch day. 15 अगस्त अभी भी आ रहा है. हमारे listing के just 5 दिन बाद ही होगा, I guess. so we will be obviously making some announcements on 15th August. Then, like I mentioned in my summary, our business model is based on three core pillars: the in-house R&D and technology, and this technology has 5 separate segments. There is software, electronics, the motor, the cell, and the manufacturing robotics. Now, all of these 5 were not relevant in the ICE era. So we have invested time, energy, capital, and created our own technology IP, which many of the competitors might not have because they come from the ICE era. We also have built this vertical integration of manufacturing, the second point, and you saw in the videos our factories are large scale and ready for more expansion as the market scales up. And finally, the front end of the business, which is the distribution, is a direct-to-customer omni-channel network where all different services, be it sales, service, charging, accessories, etc., all come under one roof for us. A quick double click on R&D. I mentioned the kind of, we have about 1,000 people in this. Over the last 3 years, we've spent more than 1,000 crores, which has really created a strong IP for us. We have a very strong patent portfolio. And in EVs, I believe our patent portfolio will be one of the most leading ones. This shows you our products are all built on the same technology platform. So we had the Generation 1 products which were launched 3 years ago, and last year we launched the Generation 2 products. So every two-wheeler product from our studio, be it the scooters, be it the motorbikes, all are built on the same platform. That gives us a lot of scale benefits, and every generation reduces the cost. So Gen 2 over Gen 1 reduced the cost by 23%. Just like any other technology industry, every 2-3 years, cost reduces, performance improves. Moving on to manufacturing, this gives you a bird's eye view of our EV hub, which you saw in the video. There are 2 core anchors here. There is our Giga factory in the foreground, and in the background there is our two-wheeler future factory. Both are built for much larger scale. The civil infrastructure is already installed, utilities, etc. are already installed to support a much larger manufacturing capacity. And this whole area is the EV hub where many of our suppliers are also co-locating. Here's a short video of the future factory, which I think in interest of time I will skip. I think you guys saw it in the corporate film also. Moving on to the Giga factory, like I mentioned, the cell is the foundation of the EV industry. And our efforts in the cell are meant to create that foundation for ourselves and the whole EV industry in India. We have a 20 gigawatt hour allocation from the government. We will be building it in phases, which you see on the chart. Phase 1A for us, which is what we've done, is 1.4 gigawatt hour. This is completed. Trial production is on, and commercial production will begin early next year. And through the next few years, we will complete the full 20 gigawatt hour in steps. There's a small video of the Giga factory. I would like to show you this because what you will see is what we believe an absolute cutting edge cell manufacturing facility, very automated. And by the way, as you saw in the video, all of our manufacturing is run 100% by women because, yeah, we'll go into the because maybe in Q&A. That's our Giga factory. As you can see, very automated, cutting edge technology. And this is the product that is being made there. It is a state-of-the-art 4680 lithium-ion cell, all developed in-house. And I want to actually show you guys a little, if you can indulge me a little bit. This is the cell that goes into our TV remotes. Can you see it? Dikh raha hai na? Yeah. This is the cell that goes into EVs today. The Ola scooters carry this. Many global cars, electric cars carry this. This is the state of the art today. So you can see the size of this. And this is our 4680 cell, right? So you can see how bigger it is compared to this one. So it is 5 times bigger in terms of energy, and that obviously helps improve performance and reduce cost both. Oops. All right, so that's the 4680. We are obviously very excited about it. Trial production has begun, and the cell will come into our own products early next year. quick comments on our front end. I've mentioned this to you, but we have a wide spectrum of stores. We have a digital presence also. More than 55 million people came to our digital footprint through last year. We have a strong financial platform where different financing partners give loans to our customers. More than half our vehicles are financed. We have more than 1,000 charging guns across the country and 400 plus service centers. Finally, the point is how the government regulatory ecosystem is really enabling electrification. Like I mentioned, there are two PLIs. We are part of both PLIs, PLI for EV and PLI for cell. There is the FAME, which is right now called the EMPS, which is going to be evolving as the government has indicated into FAME 3. And then there are some state level government subsidies as well as a lifetime corporate tax benefit we have for being a new manufacturing entity. Now financials, Harish, you want to cover it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, quick check on the financials. So as you have seen, we have been in the existence for 3-4 years. The company has grown substantially over the time. You see our FY23 numbers. We are on 2,708 crores, going up to 5,200 crores. Sorry, just come this side. Yeah. So 5,200 crores for top line. So that's on 88%, 90% jump year on year in top line. The gross margins, the adjusted gross margins improved significantly. Now, this is obviously an outcome of all the technology investments you see, all the cost measures we do, and the scale benefits kicking in. So our gross margins have improved from 7.63% to 16.47% over the course of last 2 years. Flowing into the EBITDA margin substantial improvement from 43% negative to 20% negative. Now, obviously, this is the scale and the operating leverage kicking in across all our businesses. So this is a summary of the financial statements.
All right, on team, very quickly, you see me here. Harish is our CFO, has been with the group for almost 8 years. And we have a world-class team. We actually genuinely have a team of multiple nationalities who have very good domain experience in their respective domains. You see Sean there, he used to be a senior leader at General Motors. HS Park used to be part of the cell ecosystem in Korea. Sam is a very strong vehicle engineering leader from India, and more. So we have a very strong team as well as a very strong recognized board of directors, which showcases our focus on governance and talent and building this business in the right way sustainably for the future. So that's our presentation. Thank you. I think we'll open up to Q&A.
Thank you, Bhavish and Harish. We'll proceed with the Q&A session and would request everyone to restrict their questions to 1 and 2 because we will have about only 15 to 20 minutes for this. Would request to raise your hand and call out your name and then ask your question.
Yeah, hello. This is Lokesh Shastri from MTI News. Firstly, congratulations on a great journey that you have taken on from Ola cabs to Ola scooters now. So could you tell me what is your capacity utilization currently in your factory? How many scooters are being produced, the two-wheeler segment?
Do you want to take that, Harish?
Yeah, I'll take that. So in terms of capacity, you saw the factory. We have the two-wheeler factory, which is called the Future Factory. That factory has been built for a capacity up to 4 million. The entire civil and utilities, etc., has been built for a 4 million capacity. The installed capacity in the factory is 1 million units. As per the book, what we published from the RHP, 49% was the last year's capacity utilization number. And as we scale up, obviously, this grows. So we have invested for the future. It's built for the future that way.
Bhavish, hi. Amit Moile from Autocar Professional. How are you? Congratulations, all the best for your IPO. Best wishes from our side. Quickly coming to the market, we're seeing that EVs have entered into a slow lane in the first 6. I mean, sales have been going down. I'm talking the industry, not just you, but I mean, battery technology also has been changing. We've been seeing globally prices for LFP and other crash. So how sure you are about the EV growth story going forward, and also the battery technology that you are coming up with will also be able to be compatible with what the industry would need in the near future?
The EV growth story actually in India is in its absolute early days. It's day one for the EV story in India. 3 years ago when we launched our product, that's when I believe the EV story began. Because till then there was hardly any EV, and 3 years ago to now you can see in scooters the penetration has gone up to almost 15%. And there will be cyclical ups and downs basis, either subsidy changes or some cyclical seasonal stuff. But otherwise, year on year, you've seen our growth is 90%. FY24 over FY23 is 90%. And Q1 of FY25 numbers are also in the Vahan public domain. Again, you can see that. So the growth story is consistent and secular. The potential is very large because all of automotive, I think globally the debate is clear that it'll become over time electric, and category by category might follow a different strategy. So I don't see any slowing down of the story. In fact, with more and more product launches, you actually see EV expansion only. And you also now see incumbents also, the ones who were 3 years ago saying ke EV nahi hai kuch, they're also joining the party. So I would say der aaye durust hai.
Yeah, I'm Sammy from Business Standard.
Yeah, battery technology. So battery technology, actually, there are two main technologies, NMC and LFP. Both are relevant. There is no either or in these two choices because both have different propositions. LFP is heavier and more voluminous, but cheaper. And NMC is higher energy density, but slightly costlier. So the cell that we are building, the 4680 cell, is actually a format which is compatible with both NMC and LFP. We are first coming out with an NMC variant of the cell because our vehicles right now use NMC. But in the future, we can also do LFP on the same format.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sammy from Business Standard. The company in FY, here.
Yeah.
So the company from net cash has moved to net debt. So given the cash burn, what is the kind of runway that you'll get from the IPO proceeds, considering you also have a lot of expansion plans?
Sure.
And second question is, what is the reason for the jump in market share during the June quarter? Are there any related party sales between Ola Electric and Ola Cabs?
No, I'll answer the second one first. The related party sales have all been disclosed in the book. They are very, very minuscule in terms of percentages. I don't know whether I can share the exact percentages, but very, very small. So there is no related party sale, especially in the last quarter, as far as I know. Yeah, nothing, right? So all of the market share growth is a function of the market dynamics. We have continued to launch our S1X products, the mass market products, and you see them increasing penetration across different parts of the country. On your first point, we use debt in a thoughtful way, in a calibrated way, especially for our project finance, which is linked to asset creation. We don't, we have two large debt lines, one for the automotive factory and one for the cell Giga factory, and both are linked to asset creation. So as we are investing into the Giga factory, we put our equity in, but we also use debt from public sector banks in India. So that is one of the reasons. This IPO, the use of proceeds is a spectrum. A part of it goes to further capex, part of it goes to retiring some debt, and part of it goes into R&D for the future.
Hi, Bhavish. Shivani here from Business Standard back here. Just a related question. What's the road to profitability for Ola Electric? Is it just going to be the volume sales? Are you looking at some other segments as well? Thanks.
So profitability, you want to answer that? Or let me take a shot and then you can add to it. See, again, I can't comment on the future numbers, but if you see our numbers from what we showed you, FY24 revenue has gone up 90% over FY23. And EBITDA gross margin has gone up to, I think, 16% from 7%. And EBITDA margin has gone from negative 43 to negative 19% just in 1 year. And Q1 of this year, further our volumes have gone up, as you can see from the Vahan portal. So if you see manufacturing industries in general, as you grow revenue, you get a lot of operating leverage because your fixed costs don't scale in line with revenue growth. So, and that's been our story in the last couple of financial years, where as we've grown volumes and we've invested for a higher volume, as we're growing into that capacity, our margins are improving, and that you can see that. Now, I can't tell you when the intersection will happen, but you can extrapolate and make your own guess. So that's one theme on profitability. Another equally important theme actually is that as we continue to vertically integrate the manufacturing, the next big step there is the cell. And the cell is absolutely the heart of the EV in terms of cost. It's 30% of the, or 1/3 of the overall cost of any typical EV. So as we bring that into India and make it ourselves, and you can see our progress on that. So next year when that happens, that will further improve our margins.
Good afternoon, Bhavish. This is Sumantra Barua from the Economic Times Auto. Your market share, as you mentioned, it's inching, touching almost 40 now in the last quarter. Now, these kind of market share, how sustainable it is, and especially when some of the larger players are also kind of getting more serious in the EV game, how sustainable it is, and how do plan to, if yes, how do you plan to sustain it? And would you see, does Ola Electric aspire to be the Maruti of electric two-wheelers when it comes to this market position? And second question.
Let me finish that. It's a long question. Let me finish that. Market position to hamari almost wo ho gayi hai in terms of market share.
But in terms of the margin of leadership.
Margin of lead it's getting there because the rest are far behind. But see, I have always said from day one that EV is a all of industry effort. We are the leaders in terms of numbers, and we have also built a very unique strategy for EVs, which is vertically integrated manufacturing and core R&D in-house. So this strategy has helped us build market leadership as well as launch more products sooner into the market. Now, earlier maybe incumbents were thinking EV is not relevant. Now, as they're coming into the EV industry, it's good. It's actually good कि उनको थोड़ा समझ आ रही है कि EV is the future, right? So समझ आ रही है, but the winning strategy in EV, so people will play, others will also discount their products or whatever they will do. But the winning strategy in EV is going to be the company which will be able to build future technologies. And this is my view, the companies which are able to build future technologies as well as create the manufacturing ecosystem, because that is different for EVs versus ICE. And that's where you heard our story. We have significantly invested time, money, energy, as well as technically a lot of depth in creating that ecosystem.
One quick question on
startups. You mentioned
really,
that...
Let him complete.
Yeah. Sorry, in the EV space, especially two-wheelers, startups have really taken the lead. And Ola Electric is a good example there. But of late, there's been observation that some of the startups are struggling despite having a good product strategy and engineering capabilities, mainly because of the funding. And there seems to be some kind of rethink in the investor fraternity. I don't know whether on the sustainability of the EV industry or whatever it is, there are some who are facing that. How is the environment there, and do you think there could be some kind of, therefore, some consolidation?
See, I can't comment on other startups. Our numbers, you yourself acknowledged in your first part of the question. So I think you're referring to other startups. I wouldn't want to comment on them. As far as business model sustainability goes, I answered the profitability point. You do see our margins improving with the speed at which they have in the prospectus. And as we scale up further, logically, the margins will go in one direction. So beyond that, I can't answer.
Bhavish, you spoke about your foray into making motorbikes. Do you have some kind of an outlook and projections for this planned business? And what's the kind of investments you have made? That's one part of the question. The second part is on the lithium cell production. Over there also, what is the kind of potential you're seeing for Ola Electric?
In terms of bikes, if you look at the Indian market, 2/3 is bike, 1/3 is scooter. So there's a lot of market opportunity in motorbikes. And the basic fundamental selling proposition of EV remains the same in scooter and bike. It is that the total cost of ownership is much lower. And you saw the chart that we put up for that. So as we enter the bike segment, again, I can't share forecasts or projections, but we feel that we have a good product lineup and we are addressing the right segments of the bike market with our spectrum of products. And what was the second part of your question? Yeah, cell, yeah. For the cell, yes. See, India is a very large economy and growing economy in terms of global share, right? The cell represents a new energy paradigm where both automotive as well as storage at home or storage in the grid, all of these are relevant end uses of lithium cells. And we have already invested in the technology. We have created a state-of-the-art cell, the 4680 cell. And we will be deploying it across our own needs. And once we achieve a certain scale, we will be willing to do it in other industries as well as for other customers also.
What are the total investments in the lithium cell business so far?
Yeah, on the lithium, so just to, on the cell side, we have invested roughly around 500 crores in the cell project. and we've also got the SBI term loan for almost 1,900 crores, part of which has been availed as we have completed 1.4 gigawatt hour phase, and we are continuing our investment into the 1.4 to 5 gigawatt hour phase. That's the investment in the cell side.
Hi, Bhavish. Shohini from Business Standard here. You also mentioned about exports, that 18% of two-wheelers in the last 5 years were exported. You had touched upon this topic, I think, around FY22 as well. Then what are your plans now? Anything in the immediate horizon?
Again, I can't share specific plans, but it's been very clear that it is part of our long-term roadmap. And our focus is to get the Indian market to scale. And we have the capacity invested already, and we have the product portfolio which is scaling up in the market. And as we get into other segments like bikes, etc., again, the focus will be first India and then sell internationally. Exact time I can't commit.
One more question is, once you are able to scale up the Giga factory and lithium prices are also coming down, so what kind of boost do you see? One, because of vertical integration, and also the raw material cost to your net margins, or?
So lithium prices in the last 10 years have come down by, by 9/10, because lithium is a technology-oriented business. So as technology is improving, every year or 2 years, the cost keeps coming down. And that's the dynamic I foresee in the future also. Who knows where it will get to? It's a broader global supply chain, but I do expect lithium prices to keep going towards a certain direction as technology enhances. For us, that's a good benefit for the whole EV ecosystem, because one of the main input costs come down. And as we scale up our Giga factory and commercialize it, we actually have the benefit of low prices, because the input cost for our own cell making also comes down.
Hi,
Somebody give a
Bhavish.
mic here in the front.
Sumana Sarkar here from Financial Express.
Okay, after that, please give it to the gentleman in the pink. Yeah.
So I have a related question to the lithium cells. Given the current budgetary allocation also for critical minerals, how do you see the cell manufacturing panning out in India, and specifically if Ola's plans?
हमने तो लगा दी factory. So we are very optimistic about India's future in new energy, and we want to contribute to it, and we want to be one of the leaders in it, and that's why we were the first ones to set up the Giga factory. The government has, like I said, built a very good, encouraging ecosystem for EVs and core components like cell. There's a PLI. We are the largest recipient of that PLI. 20 gigawatt hour has been allocated to us. Critical mineral focus in the budget is also a very welcome step. You see every few months we find there's news of new discoveries of lithium in India. So that's again good for the country, good for domestic manufacturing of the entire cell and cell supply chain, backward integration, all of that in India.
This is Ben from New Indian Express. Can you be specific about how much is the debt reduction with the IPO? How much debt you are retiring? And what is the total debt?
Yeah, on the IPO, we are retiring 800 crores of debt, which is there in the book. So 800 crores will be used to retire the debt.
Okay. And post-issue, what would be the ownership that you hold, Bhavish?
Founder and promoter group ownership would be the three entities combined, right? So it will be about 38%. Yeah.
Post-issue?
Post-issue, 37-38%.
How much you are diluting?
Sorry?
How much you are diluting through the issue?
See, the issue is 90% a primary issue. So out of the 6,100 odd crores, 5,500 crores is all coming into the company.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
How much your promoters are diluting through the IPO?
Promoter is, see, out of all the offer for sale, less than 40% would be the promoter share of that. So it's a very small part of the overall offer for sale. And actually, from the draft prospectus to now, I've actually reduced my contribution to OFS.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Bhavish, Swaraj here from Money Control. Localization, like you mentioned, is a big theme. You've been talking about building an EV ecosystem. As per numbers in your document, the import cost of materials that have been imported has actually gone up over the last 3 fiscals from 30% to 37%. And China is almost 98-99% of that source of imported materials, whether for sale or other things. So how do you plan to reduce the dependence on Chinese imports, especially personally also you have been kind of talking about reducing dependence on, say, whether it's Western tech companies and other technology. So how are you looking to, push ahead with that localization? And is that even possible in the near term?
So let me actually first read out the actual numbers on import. Does my team have that? Yeah. So, nahin, hai ke nahi hai? So, anyways, while my team figures it out, the actual data I think is our import percentage is coming down from 37 to 29 in the latest fiscal, right, Harish? So latest is actually, as a percentage of our overall, it's actually coming down. So we are on a path of localization. This everybody can refer to in our ad today. जो ad आई है उसमें second page पे या first page पे है ये. So our focus remains to continue to localize more and more as we build more and more components in India. And also I want to just correct you. Most of our imports, that larger number is not from China. Our cells come from a Korean company. Electronics come from an East Asian supply chain. The chips, etc., don't come from China. But thematically speaking, I actually support your point that we in India need to localize more. It's not just Ola, but it's the whole industry which needs to do more, and everybody is doing more. And the government schemes like PLI, etc., do help in that direction.
Hi. This is Janvi from The Business. My first question would definitely be on, you are retiring around 800 crores of your debt. So how much was your finance cost going to be saved on that? And the second part is, you are obviously shortlisted for 2 PLI schemes, both auto and the cells PLI scheme. So cell, you have mentioned in your RHP that it will, once your Giga factory starts, then the cell disbursements will be starting. So when can we expect the auto PLI disbursement starting? Because it is also mentioned in the RHP that you are in some process of for some final approvals for 2 of your products. So just can you give a brief idea on that front?
So let me answer that. So on auto PLI, 2 of our flagship products are certified for PLI, the S1 Pro and the S1 Air. The S1 Air got certified for PLI in December last year. The S1 Pro got certified for PLI in early February this year. So those 2 products are certified. We are in the process of filing our first claim with the government for the year ended March 24. So that's on the auto PLI. On the cell PLI kicks in when we start commercially invoicing. As we said, we're currently undergoing trial productions. As we get into the commercial production, then we start claiming the cell PLI side of it. On the debt point which you raised, so as I said, we are retiring around 800 crores of debt, and you can assume, the best of interest rates on that, which will impact our P&L positively, because to that extent, my interest cost will go down per annum.
Okay, so like for the cell PLI, it would be majorly FY26, 27, if I take it into consideration your...
It will be majorly FY25, 26. It will start from FY25, 26, and then it will gradually scale up as our capacity scales up and we start producing more and more, because the PLI is linked to production side of it.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Bhavish. Hi, this is Satviki from Bloomberg News. Just wanted to check, how are the plans for your electric cars progressing and by when we can expect them in the market?
आपको मुझसे better पता होगा. Because I think there's been too much speculation about that. We have not made any formal announcement ever, either this way or that way. Our focus, like I said, is to build the foundations for EV ecosystem in India. And we made a starting point from a product standpoint with the scooter. We are moving to the motorbike, and our immediate focus is on these two-wheeler products. And our focus is to build the cell as a foundation layer for any future product for any company which wants to buy our cell. So that's our focus. I can't specifically comment on speculations like the car.
All right, thank you.
We'll take last 2 questions before we end the session, and of course we can have a conversation, during refreshments.
This is Ryosuke Hanada from Nikkei, the Japanese newspaper. I would like to ask 2 questions. First, simply speaking, what do you think of the risk of the fire incident by the lithium-ion battery? That is the first question. And secondly, since we are Japan-based newspaper, I just like to know, how do you think of the competition with the possibility that Japanese two-wheeler like Honda or Suzuki or Yamaha's possibility for entering to the electric two-wheeler in Indian market?
I think on the first point on the risk for fire, lithium cells, if manufactured well and the battery pack is built with good quality technology and manufacturing process, the fire risk is fairly low. There have been studies globally to compare fire risk of good quality lithium batteries with ICE vehicles. And actually ICE vehicles have shown to be much worse than lithium. Global studies. I don't think any such study has happened in India yet. But in our own experience, we've seen if you're making good quality batteries, the risk is fairly low. Specifically on your question on Japan industry, we do have some partnerships with the Japanese ecosystem, especially as our cell Giga factory is getting to production. Japan is a good base for chemical industry, etc. And we do look to continue to deepen our partnership with Japan. Some of our investors are Japanese. SoftBank is a Japanese company. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi Bhavish, hi Harish. This is Aman Ahmed from Car and Bike. Bhavish, congratulations on the development of the 4680 cell. Just want to understand if you could help us quantify the reduction in cost and the increase in range that you will be able to achieve with the 4680 vis-a-vis the current cells that you're using.
I don't think I can comment on the specific numbers, but if I give you some technical specs which can help you understand the direction. Our 4680 cell is going to be, in terms of energy density, more dense than a 2170 cell. And I showed you it has 5 times more energy in a slightly bigger volume. So what that helps is the manufacturing cost it takes to make one cell reduces because now you're packing more energy into one unit. Specifics I can't share with you. And also specifically in terms of a vehicle, since it's more energy in a smaller volume, you are able to pack more energy in the same volume in the vehicle. So if in the vehicle you've seen our battery pack, if it has a certain volume, now you'll be able to pack a little more battery capacity because the cell is more dense.
Right. And would you want to start deploying these on your motorcycles first, or is it meant for the scooters?
Once our cell is commercially ready, all future products beyond that point will be on our own 4680 cell. Until then, there'll be a transition for existing products to move to our own cell.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll close with the vote of thanks. I would request the representative from Goldman Sachs to please come up and give the closing speech.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to keep this short, but before we get into it, I just want to say very few times do we have, mission-driven founders like Bhavish who create companies where their mission is actually larger than themselves. And I think I'd like everyone to appreciate that. I think he's made a few points which are very important, which is the sole purpose of a lot of his creation is putting India on the map, energy security, make in India, job creation, and I think that should land on everyone. Ola Electric is well positioned to drive the electrification of mobility in India. The company commands a leadership position today, as everyone can appreciate, cutting-edge R&D to bring the latest technologies in electric mobility to the Indian public. The management is focused on building a strong future for the company and all its stakeholders. The current IPO is the first step in a long journey towards long-term value creation for all the incoming investors and the stakeholders of Ola Electric. And so we look forward to your support and participation in making this IPO a grand success. Thank you, Bhavish. Thank you, Harish. Thank you, everyone.